normally what I do is I surround myself with young people, because ultimately the reason why I'm doing this is for those young people. Many of you hear Brian Harris say that African Americans are projected to have a zero net worth in 2053. Well, I cannot say for sure, because I expect us to do things today to prevent that from happening. We have the power to do it. But the question is, do we have the will? I do. And what I'm looking for is other people that do it. You know, John Brown, before the Civil War, he told Frederick Douglass that in order for this thing to happen, we might just need a spark. And if no one else would be that spark, that he would be that spark. And many people told me, warned me, that Rodney, if you go against the establishment, if you go against the status quo, you will become a pariah. There'll be a lot of people, because they don't understand anything but left or right, red or blue. I call them Crips and Bloods, because when I was back in the city, that's the way we did it. Well, those days are over. There's people in America who have ideas beyond what we currently have, because I ask you, look at what's going on in our streets and our communities today, especially these communities right here. Are we better off? Because if we're not better off, that means doing the same thing will continue to get us what we've been getting. So that means we need to get new people with new ideas who are willing to put in that work. And people tell me, Rodney, don't talk about black issues. Don't even mention black. You can actually say African American, but some people are scared of black. I said, well, this is the primary, so this is all Democrats. They said, don't mention black. I would go to meetings and most groups would be represented, whether it's the LGBTQ community, whether it's the union and trades community, Latino Hispanics, all of these groups would be represented. But every time I inserted a concern about African Americans, about black people, first they told me, Rodney, that's African Americans. And I said, well, I've been one ever since 1965, so I kind of have an idea who I am and what we are. So you're telling me that I cannot talk about the needs of my own people? As a matter of fact, it was people who looked like me who said, don't talk about black issues. That says, well, maybe that's why we're in the condition. It's a contributing factor of why we're in the condition we're in today, because we are not willing to talk about our issues. Look, I have seen the valley of death.
We're being told not to. Not that we're not willing. We're being told you better not talk about.
Here I am.
Those issues.
Here I am. And if I have to be that spark, if I have to be the one in the lead, if I have to be the one to take those hits, bring them. Because I know that our children are projected to have less of a future than I was. And I originally started in the Jim Crow South. I'm talking rural South. I saw the people with the dunce caps on. I saw the crosses being burned. I know where the hanging tree is in my community. And for us in 2020 to sit back or to hear someone say, no, don't do that, when they're telling me that our children are not going to have the opportunities that I had from the Jim Crow South, those days are over. We're going to talk about the issues for everybody. It's not just unions. It's not just trades. We can talk about those. But as long as I'm in the race and as long as I have a voice, we're going to talk about the issues that affect everybody, and that includes African American issues.